Happy Wednesday, happy Wine Wednesday. Today is another episode of Corks and Conversations with myself, Sonteria Bowie, the owner of Tranquil Blends Wine. Today we are actually going to be interviewing one of my homegirls, somebody who's near and dear to me, Paisley Lucas of the Wine Tribe. I'm going to add her in, so give me 1 second. We get a bigger platform, so we're gonna get it together. Huh? Hey E. Hey Britt. Hey Belinda. So I add people in. So if you guys don't know, Paisley is actually the owner of the Wine Tribe. She is someone who is really near and dear to my heart. When I first got into the wine industry, she was someone who welcomed me in and had me at all her events. So of course, who am I to not interview someone who put my foot in the game, basically? So as she joins on, we're just gonna wait. Do you guys have your wine? What y'all drinking tonight? I told her 7:05, so she probably waiting. E, what you sipping on? Brittany, what you sipping on? Hey, Sheena. Tequila. I was drinking Douce earlier, so feel a little good. Feel a little great. Had a long day. Let's see. I know I invited her in, so we're just gonna wait for her. Do you guys have any questions? If you have any questions about Tranquil Blends or wine in general, or the Wine Tribe, just drop those questions in the comments. I know I got one good eye, so bear with me. Cause you gotta learn how to drink with kids. That's a part of being a mama. Paisley, did I invite you in? Let me see. Yeah, Facebook ain't great when it comes to like this setup. Let me see. Okay, there we go. Let's see if my AirPod gonna work. You like um Sauvignon Blanc? I can't get jiggy with it. That's not one of my like favorites. So Paisley is being added in right now. Like I said, she's the owner of the Wine Tribe. If you guys have not attended a Wine Tribe event, you're crazy. So those are like one of the most original to me, because I know that she was doing Wine Tribe events in 2020, 2021, 2022. I know she took a little break, but true. But she hosts networking events, and it's always a great time. Always very informative of different wines. Um, just a great time. I've always had a great time at her events. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, with pasta, definitely a white wine is always the option. I've been getting into my blush wines lately. Y'all like blush wines? I've been drinking blush wines lately. So I've been getting into them, but probably because I am making a top secret blush wine. So I've been getting into my blush wines. I should say a dry red is my favorite. What's your favorite red wine and why? I don't know what's going on. It's she's trying to. I can see her trying to jump in, but it's not adding her in. Okay, so while we wait, let's talk about palates. So the most important thing as someone who loves wine is to know your palate, right? So you have to know your palate versus what you eat. They have to coincide with each other. I was just telling someone the other day, like your palate has to coincide with what you eat on a regular day basis. Because if you're like a weekly wine drinker, um, you have to make sure that you know what matches or pairs with your food. So you cook a lot of different dishes though. So I don't know how that will work for you. I feel like with pastas you can do like a Chardonnay. You can do a blush wine. I love blush wines with a chicken, like with a especially a fried chicken, a sparkling blush wine. Yeah, that's a vibe. Um, I'm gonna try again with her. Oh, approve. Okay, let's try that now. There you go.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God,
I was
technology
like,
is
what's
crazy,
going on,
y'all.
child? I didn't give you an introduction at
Everybody.
all.
Oh yes. I probably missed
I,
it trying to get this to work.
I'm like, what's going on? Like, but like I said, Facebook is just my
Yes,
trial error. I
yes.
didn't want to jump out and do like
We
whole
made it.
podcast things and all
No,
that
it's all
stuff. I
good.
wanted to
We
give
made
it
it. Yes.
right. How are you?
I am good.
I have not seen you in forever.
I know it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yes.
So, as I was saying earlier, Paisley is the owner of the Wine Tribe. For me,
Yes.
near and dear to my heart. You are
Yes.
probably one of the first people to believe in me as far as like me having
Oh,
a wine
thank
business,
you.
and even to the point of when I needed critique, right?
Yeah.
Remember I had them little bottles?
Yes. Look, don't talk down on the little bottles. Them
I
was
had
the
them little bottles.
ones.
So, so Paisley is someone who has the Wine Tribe. It's a networking organization. Would you consider yourself a networking
Yeah,
organization?
I would say that we're a community is how I explain it to everyone.
Yeah, it's
Is
a community.
yeah, it's a community of we can get into the logistics, but it's a community of people, usually black and brown people who in our community wine has been taboo and we are
Hmm.
getting in front of wines who probably the snobs look down on, and we enjoy them, and we don't look down on, you know, anyone, no matter where you are on your wine journey, it's just a safe place, and we have fun, and I always say we vibe over wine because that's what we do.
I say that all the time. People don't understand. Like your best conversations probably happen over a glass of
Over
wine.
wine, yes,
Yeah,
I have some right
I
now.
think that's like it's universal. What you drinking on?
I am drinking some jam jar.
I actually went to Mars Cheese Castle,
Okay.
so I don't want to be
Okay.
cliche and just drink my wine
Yeah.
every time we on live, y'all. Like,
What else would you do?
I love my wine. I think it's a great product.
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
not one of those people though because I feel like how can you have real discussions if you're only comparing it to yourself, right?
Um,
Like, I'm not going to say bad about me
yeah.
any day. So I try to go out there and like look
Hmm.
at my market, look at
Yeah.
competitors, and actually have like a real critique of their wines. So I went to the Mars Cheese Castle in
Okay.
Kenosha.
Okay.
First time
I see it all the
there,
time. I've never
I
been.
love it.
Okay. I have to try it out.
Anytime you can shop and drink wine at the same time,
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And they have
Totally.
like everything related to wine. Everything related to wine. So
Hmm.
I am actually trying this Bucks wine.
Okay.
Um,
It's not as good as yours. It's okay to say it.
no, because my
Different
thing
type.
is like I make a lot of sweet
Yes.
blends. Um, and this is a dry blend, which I love. I absolutely love dry blends. But this one is like kind of too dry.
Too dry.
Like
Yeah.
the season.
Yes.
It's too dry. Like it's like
Yeah.
it has a bite, but it's like a
Like,
unattractive bite.
yes. I totally get where you're coming from. I'm really into you didn't ask, but I'm kind of into Pinot Noirs right now
Mm-hmm.
because they are uh I don't even like to call them a dry red because they're not dry. They're just a red blend. Like they're just a red wine
It's
that
like a
it's
semi-sweet.
still very juicy. Like you
Yeah,
don't get that. It's called tannins, but you don't get like that dryness in your mouth, like that cotton mouthfeel afterwards. So,
yeah.
um,
Um,
yeah,
Noirs are like a to me, I feel like they're categorized as a dry wine,
yeah,
but they're
but they're
semi-sweet to
not.
me.
Yeah, yeah, they kind of are. Yes.
Yeah. I when Tizzy was making her wine and she was making a noir, she
Hmm.
was like, "Well, this blend is not as sweet as this one." I'm like,
Right.
"Well, it's kind of tricky with noirs because they're supposed to be a dry wine,
Yeah.
you know." So I think it depends on the batch of grapes
Yeah.
or the
The region and
concentrated juice that you
everything. Yeah,
use.
for sure.
Yeah, it just depends on the mixing of it. You
Mhm.
probably never would know. Sometimes you might get a sweet bottle one day
Right.
and a non-sweet
Yeah.
one.
And it's crazy because you can have like the same vineyard or the same brand of wine that makes it, and then depending on the season, like one batch can be like extremely sweeter, and the other one can be like very dry. So just another note. I see that y'all said y'all taking notes, but just know that you can have a bottle of wine that came out in 2021
Mm-hmm.
that tastes extremely sweet, but the next season could have caused the grapes to not taste the same. So you can have a bottle of 22 that isn't as sweet just
Facts.
because, it just depends on the time and the grape and everything.
So
So,
if you're joining in, drop what you're drinking right now. We want to know.
yes.
And then also for the people who have just joined in, this is Paisley. We went to
Hmm.
elementary school together, right? She's a
Yes.
little younger than me, but elementary school together.
Throw it back.
But we met in the wine industry, and like I said, for Corks Conversation, what my main goal is to cultivate a space for minorities in the alcohol industry. Period. You know, alcohol beverage industry.
Yeah.
Um, People don't understand how hard it is to get into this industry and like to stay in this industry. So I want to cultivate a space for us to be able to have like conversations about wine and liquor in general,
Yeah.
events in general. Um, so my first question for you
Hmm.
is, can you tell me about your journey? What made you start Wine Tribe?
Yeah, so actually I had just got to the point in my drinking journey where I just was kind of going to the bottle of wine, first. It kind of happened like right after I had my first daughter who is going to be, well, she'll be 6 this year. So, my friends and I, we were just getting together, just drinking wine. And it actually started off very small because we would get together and we would all just bring a bottle of wine. And then it
Mm-hmm.
was like, as it becomes more of us, it's more wine. So we would kind of like do these wine tastings like amongst one another. And we would all bring our favorite bottles of wine and we would just like our own wine tasting amongst us. So then I just started like getting us together more often, just at my house. And then people started asking like, well, can I bring my cousin or can I bring my friend? And then more people would come and more people would bring more wine. So it just became like bigger to the point where I like named what we were doing. And
Right, Wine Tribe.
at the time, we were titled something different that wasn't as inclusive as it is now. Not gonna go into that story at this moment, but it just continued to get bigger and bigger. And then I just started to like rent out event spaces. I started an Instagram, and I just realized that this community was meant for more than just me and my close circle. So that's how we got to where we are today, where we kind of have like a following collectively of like over 2,000 people, and it's been amazing. Yes.
I mean, I feel like
So for me, as someone who came to your events, who has been
Yeah.
a vendor at your events,
Yes.
I feel like you have cultivated a space where women can come together and
Mhm.
truly like indulge
Yes.
and network at the same time.
Yes.
You know?
People meet people and have built like lifelong connections from these events. So
Hmm.
it has been amazing
And
for
that's
sure. And it's
important. I feel like
yeah.
for minorities, I feel like we don't know necessarily like what wine really is.
Yeah. Right.
You know, we don't
Mhm.
know palates. You know, we
Mhm.
don't know structure of drinking wine.
Yeah.
And then just like even on a business standpoint of it, a lot of the times I feel like people don't understand drinking etiquette.
Yeah.
So I feel like at your event where, you know, you have people who come from different walks of life, right?
Mhm.
Everyone comes from different walks of life, but at the same time, it's like they learn how to be in this space
Yeah.
together
Yeah.
that teaches us also drinking etiquette.
Mhm.
That's important. People don't
Yeah.
understand that. I've seen it. I've been in management for 10 years,
Mhm.
and people don't understand that it's a certain time and place to drink and
Yeah.
how to drink.
Yeah.
So I think that when I started hosting like wine tastings
Mhm.
and when I started doing like business etiquette classes
Mhm.
and stuff, that taught me how to drink professionally because
Yeah.
it's a such thing.
Yes.
It's a big
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And the fun thing about the events that I host too is that, there is extreme drinking etiquette involved for sure. But then, you find your people
Hmm.
and you feel safe and like where the time and place is. So, we do field trips sometimes where we go out to like different wine bars and we link up and, drink, and obviously we conduct ourselves
We try.
much. Yes, we
It's
try to
trying.
conduct ourselves much better than we do like when we're just in like an event that I host or anything like that. But I do like to curate that safe place.
Yeah. You curate that space, but the thing is that sometimes people have to like have that chameleon effect
Yeah, for sure.
where you see other people doing it,
Mhm.
and then you
Yeah.
pull towards it.
Yeah.
Because if I just know you, you know,
Mhm.
Paisley from me, us going to school together,
Mhm.
and I
Yeah.
just was like, oh, I'm going to support her. I'm going to come to her event.
Right. Right.
But if I get to that event and I don't have that same etiquette, but
Mhm.
I see other women
Yeah.
who look like me
Yes.
with that etiquette,
Mhm.
then that's a difference for me because then I'm learning, you
Yeah,
know,
for sure.
and it's
Yeah.
not a space where I don't feel comfortable because I'm still seeing someone who looks like me, who
Mhm.
went to school with me, you know, like
Yeah.
there's
Mhm.
still a connection
Yeah,
that
for
will
sure.
bring people in because a lot of times I feel like for me, I think that I had to cultivate my own space
Yeah.
because I was so rough growing up, you know,
Mhm.
and a lot of the times people didn't take me serious because of the fact that
Mhm.
I was so rough.
Mhm.
They're like, oh, Hutch, she was doing all the stuff, you know. You know exactly that name tarnished. I hate it. I love. Listen, I'm sorry, granddaddy, that I did that to your legacy. You know, but I feel like a lot of times even when people call me Hutch, I get offended because it's like, girl,
Oh,
Hutch was a wild child. I'm a grown
yeah.
woman now.
No,
You know,
embrace
like,
embrace the new version.
you know, she can. But I felt like a lot of the times I excluded myself out of
Mhm.
certain events
Yeah.
because I didn't think that I would fit
Mhm.
into those events.
Right.
So once I started to see people in those spaces that I knew, like
Yeah.
familiar faces,
Mhm.
that made me feel like, okay, then I'm welcome.
Yeah.
So once I felt welcome, then I started to come and I started to learn. Like,
Mhm.
okay, oh, you don't do this, you know, you don't
Mhm.
eat with this fork on this side. You eat on this is your fork on this side. You know, like but we have to have those spaces specifically in this day and age. I feel like our teenage girls are just not even just teenage. Let's get to the
They'll
women in the
get
20s.
there. They'll get there. We were there
Yeah,
too. They'll get there, but they have us guiding them. So that's the
we're
great thing.
trying. We're
We
trying.
are
You know, like
trying. We
it's
are trying. But
yeah.
we have to stay in the spaces that we are and continue to allow them in them and let them know that they are welcome. So
Yeah,
They'll
Yeah, you
get
have to
there.
welcome them in because it's
Yeah.
like if they don't see girls like us or women like us, then they will never
Yeah.
understand that they can be in those spaces because
Yeah.
it takes time for you to learn as a young woman growing into your, especially when you're going from 20s to 30s.
Yeah.
When you're going from your 20s to your 30s, it's a big difference. People
Yeah.
don't understand it. They're like, oh, you was
Yeah.
just 29 yesterday. But that age shift is different.
It is.
You know, it's like a time, it's like a time warp.
Mm-hmm.
It's a time warp.
It is. It's like getting to know yourself
all over again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my next question for you.
Okay.
How do you manage all of your hats? You are a business owner. I know you're a professional, a mother, a wife, sister, all these hats that you have. How are you managing those?
Honestly, some days I don't, like, and that's what I
know that's right.
about the journey. I take each day on, and I take it day by day. I embrace what every day looks like. I don't act. I try not to act like I have it all together because I don't all the time.
Hello.
But that's the beauty in it for me. Like some days I show up amazingly at my full-time job, but those would be the days that I lack on posting to the Wine Tribe or being involved with the community, or I'll be fully vested in Wine Tribe one day, and those would be the days that I may have to order out for dinner that night. So I just take it day by day, and I give myself grace. And I know that that's very cliche in this day and time that we're in. I think that the word grace is overused, but I do try to check in with myself. And, I'm only one person, and, I have a great support system, and I have a lot of people who help me, but at the end of the day, like you said, I'm the one in all of these seats. So just giving myself grace, giving myself the permission to take the load off sometimes. And, I do what I can, and that's all I can do.
That's it.
Just do what I can.
That's all you can. I feel the same way. I feel like, I wear so many hats.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just hard days, and it's not those hats.
Yeah.
I'm a human,
Yes.
So it's like today, I woke up and I just did not sleep good.
Yeah.
But I still had work, podcast, mommy, like there's so many things that it's like at some point you can't be all those things.
Yeah.
At some point something gonna fall short. Okay.
Go watch our tablets for a little while.
Hello. I bribed Naomi with Robux to be quiet.
Yeah. See, it worked.
Last week when I did my first one, she was in the background like, ah!
You know what? My kids are almost in the background, and that would have been fine. Listen, this is part of what comes with me.
I had to brag this, sis. I had to brag her. And I had to spend $20 at Quick Trip on top of the $10 on the Robux.
Yeah, well,
and she quiet as a goose. That's the crazy part. She's quiet. But yeah, I feel like, like when we wear all these hats, it looks good, right?
Yeah.
It looks good because we wear it really good. But at the same time, it's like we are human. We go through human everyday life.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. And when you have a business on top of your everyday life, because we can just cut the business out. We can just be
say I'm
mothers.
tired. I am tired.
Trying to tell you.
I'm tired, y'all. And that's like the one thing, like with the business, it's like I have to stay disciplined in. Is that this is the one thing that I'm holding myself accountable to. Like in my full-time job, like, I have the leaders above me holding me accountable to certain things. And then at home, you have your children and your husband holding you accountable. But then it's like this business, it's my baby. It's unfortunately the only thing that is me holding me accountable. So if I want to give myself some slack for a day, a month, whatever, I can do that because it's mine. But you just can't. You just don't want to.
I feel like at some point you build a rapport.
Yeah.
With your clientele that they understand, and it's not up to them to understand anything about your life. Yeah. They are the consumers. They are who is to be the bread and butter.
Yeah.
Bread and butter is for entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
That's when you are full blown into it.
Yeah.
But that same customer service has to go into it when you are still full-time working, full-time school, kids, school, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It has to coincide with each other. Like, and people don't understand that. You know, when they think that their business is just like a side hustle, they treat it differently. No.
Yeah.
It's still a business.
It is.
It's still a business,
If
and
you
it
don't
still
take
has to
care of it,
coincide.
it won't take care of you. So I mean,
Hello?
this is like thing you
It
have
will
to just
never
continue to
be
pour into.
full-time.
Yeah.
And when it's full-time, it comes with full-time hardships.
Yes, for sure.
You don't have insurance to back up on.
Yeah.
You don't have PTO to back up on. You know, like you are full-time into it.
Yeah.
So you have more grace, honestly, when it's a side hustle.
Yeah.
I was telling my friend the other day, I'm like, I'm getting to that point where it's becoming in between my job and my business.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I could be at home handling business, and I can't because I'm at work, and I'm blessed because I'm in the industry that I'm in, where I can like kind of. But if I wasn't, I would really be choosing between the two.
Yeah.
So
that's a great place to be in. I mean, I know that it's probably difficult, but you know, you got to a point where you're there, and at some point it's gonna be difficult. You know, I know. But
so, what events do you have coming up?
None, because we were just talking about that grace thing that we were just talking about. So right now I don't have any events planned at current.
You ain't wrong.
And I just really want to make sure that you know what? So I'm gonna back up a little bit. So I'm just like at a point where I'm kind of being hard on myself. Like I want my next event to be the best event, but it's like they all are so nice. Like they all bring like a different thing. Like they're all really nice. So there will be one soon. I don't have a date out. You know, my hamster wheel is spinning. Just have to lock in some dates and some places and some numbers and things of that sort. But I think out of all of my events so far, I have enjoyed the Bring Your Own Bottle event, which actually goes back into why I started this in the beginning of getting people together and everybody like brought their own bottle, and it was like a really small fee to come just to help me cover like event space and things of that sort. And that one was like, and that was I think the second one that you did your showcase for. And that one was just so much fun because everybody was able to bring what they liked, and then they were able to share their bottle with the table that they were sitting at. And then, but anyway.
Then you learn so much about different wines and people, different palates, and understanding their palates because.
Yeah, and you're also forcing people out that comfort zone that we were talking about too, because you know I'm bringing this bottle of jam jar, but it's also my responsibility to showcase this at my table. Like, hey y'all, I bought this jam jar because it's the jam, and you're being forced to talk about that with the people at your table, allowing you to network. And so I'm putting something. I'm gonna put something out where we're doing another event like that too. Hope maybe like in the summer where we can like maybe go down to the beach or something on a park. Or something outside, but there'll be something soon. I just don't have any definite dates at the current time.
So, what I wanted to ask or talk to, and you can tell me no.
Yeah.
So when 2020, when did I move back here? I moved back here 2023. 2022 was so hard for me.
Okay.
I think I lost 6 people.
Wow.
I lost like 3 cousins, 2 aunties, a sister. It was crazy. You know, like it was like back to back, you know, like situation.
Yeah.
And I could not I couldn't catch myself.
Yeah.
You know? I was flying back and forth to Milwaukee so much.
Yeah.
That it was like, to me, and my daughter was like, I don't want to be in Texas, you know? And she was coming here so much that she was around family, and she was like getting pulled back. You know, we'll go here, come back.
Yeah.
And it made like the purpose of us being in Houston minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was so minute to her. And then, mind you, she had spent the whole summer with her dad in Milwaukee.
Here? Yeah.
So it was minute to her. And she was like crying about it, all this stuff. And like, I was just like in this space where I'm like, I've spent so much on flights and stuff like that. And everybody's like, why you come back to Milwaukee? I'm like, well, I look good anywhere, honestly. Like, you know, I look good anywhere. So, but all that grief definitely took a toll on my business. I know you lost your mom. And how have you been able to like manage, or have you not managed? Which, if you haven't, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, my auntie was something that I just will never get over.
Yeah.
And I lost, like I said, 2 aunties. My mom lost her sister. My dad lost his sister. Both of them were pivotal roles in my life. Like, they both were somebody who meant something big to me, you know? And then I lost a sister too, and then cousins. And that really took a toll on me, being like wanting to even do business.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't care.
Yeah, no, loss sucks. So I am sorry to hear about all those losses you encounter. Like, you know, losing people really sucks. And I have been fortunate for most of my life where I really haven't lost anyone too close to me.
Right.
I lost my aunt in 2021. I want to say, or 2020, and that was pretty much the closest loss that I had ever encountered. Ever, you know, and then boom, my mom, and it's like the closest person to me, you know, it's my mom. So yeah, it's a great question. I'm happy that you mentioned it, because like you said, I did
scared to mention it, because it's like you don't want to bring up people.
No, it's
you
fine.
know, like, but I feel like,
yeah,
I'm like, I want to talk about it because I feel like as business people, I get that from your perspective, where you're like, I don't really care about business right now. You know, because what the hell? I don't care about business.
Yeah.
What you mean? You want some wine? I don't care about wine right now. Hit
Right.
you upside the head, the bottom with
it's aging. It's aging right now. Leave me alone.
It's Asian, sis. Like,
you know what's crazy is that my mom passed away on May 1st. Totally unexpected. So it was that part of it too. So lost her on May 1st, and then I already had an event planned on May 5th or May 7th. It was like already planned. It was already sold out. And yeah, but she like, I mean, I still feel her energy like all the time. And like she still like gave me like the tools that I needed to get through that event, because I was like, you know what? What's that event? I'm canceling it. It literally was like days after she passed away, and I just didn't even know how I was gonna show up. And even like now in hindsight, like I was barely there, but everybody, you know, tells me that that was the best event they ever had, like that I've ever had. And
you showed up for your mom.
Yeah,
and sometimes it's like you don't know in that moment, you know. Like I showed up in ways for my auntie that I probably hadn't showed up for her in a while, because we had like family stuff going, you know, like family stuff always is a part of it, right? But I be trying to show up for everybody. And I mean, your mom, that for me alone, I watched her strength, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna send my condolences, and you know, but I can't tell somebody how to. There's nothing I can say to you when you lost your mom. I told my cousins that when my auntie died, I'm like, I can't tell you how to feel. If you want to knock all this shit over,
it's literally like a blur. You literally can't like charge it to anybody's heart, because the person like going through such deep grief, like you don't even. Like, I can't even tell you the people who reached out to me, or the people that I heard from, or the people, I can't even, like, it's all such a, like, blur. Like, so, I mean, it's just like, I mean, I totally appreciate all the condolences. I appreciate people, you know, thinking about us and my family and everything. But literally, I'm just now, like, getting on my feet again. And, like, my days, and it's like my days aren't, like, really meshed together how they used to be, but they still kind of are, honestly. And this was, I mean, 10 months ago at this point, which is even crazier to
But
think
still,
about. Yeah, so as far as the grief and how I handled Wine Tribe, the thing with Wine Tribe is that I solely do it out of passion. So it doesn't, and I do have a nonprofit as well, which isn't correlated with Wine Tribe. So that also took a hit as well. But as far as Wine Tribe goes, I let people know what happened, and it's a community, and people understood. And my people really like stepped up. They're tagging me in posts. They're posting in the Facebook group. So it kept the camaraderie and
I feel
they
like
kept everything
everybody
going.
understood.
Yeah.
I feel like with the space that you cultivated for Wine
Yeah.
Tribe, which honestly it correlates with being a good business person.
Yeah.
Because the
I
space that you cultivated, nobody cared. It was more so about you and your family, your mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you cultivate those spaces and you're just a genuinely good person, you're not trying to think nobody. They don't want to think about those. It's selfish to think about anything outside of the fact that you lost your mom.
Yeah.
I feel that way. I feel like you lose your mom. I don't care if you owe me $20 of wine. Like, you lost your mom. I'm there for you.
Yeah.
Because I can't speak to that.
Yeah.
But I can speak to losing an aunt or aunts. I lost 2 aunts months apart. And it was my mom and my dad's sister, and that was painful. But then I had people just coming to me for, we need this, it was crazy. So I try to give people grace. I'm like, when I saw that you lost your mom, I'm like, damn, you only, to me, I always say this, you only get one set of parents. Yeah. And there's no taking that back. So when people want me to hate my dad, I'm like, I can't hate him because I only got one daddy. Only have one daddy. I don't. We only have one set of parents, and we have to love them for who they were and understand and figure out that whole thing as adults. You have to figure out that whole, whatever it was.
Yeah,
right?
You got to get used to life without having your parents there. So, yeah, I mean,
and I have so many
just the transition.
I have so many friends who I feel like I'm blessed in a sense because I have friends, and it's not a blessing. I have a lot of friends who have lost their parents, right? And I've seen that hurt. So it makes me appreciate my parents more while they're here.
Yeah.
Even though, whatever people may say or do, it's like you really only get that one set of parents. And when they leave this earth, it's just you, to think about.
And no one's perfect, parents or not. I mean, you become an adult and you realize that they're still human, and you just
imagine being their age and their circumstances with kids.
Yeah.
I always say that. I'm like, well, shit. My mom was 17 when she had me.
Wow.
I would have been.
Yeah, that is.
I'm 34, barely survived with Naomi. She checked me and she run me a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't know how this man did that with 3-4 kids. It's insane.
Yeah.
But I think your mom is very proud of you. I feel like
you. I appreciate
gracefully, because I'm always so. I wrote you. I'm like, girl.
Yeah.
I'm so. I have such a discernment, especially for people who I love, about that situation, because I don't know how to say it's gonna be okay because it's not.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a lie, and I don't think that I want to tell people that because y'all gonna have to pick me off the float when it comes to my parents.
Yeah,
me up for weeks.
And I think that I don't think that saying it's gonna be okay is bad. It takes time for sure. To
I get
figure out what life
that.
looks like. I mean, if you're something you're not comfortable with saying, just don't. But just know that, that hit me like the wrong way if anybody said that. I mean, you don't see it in the moment, but I mean, I'm 10 months in, and obviously still have hard days, but I'm getting more used to what my life looks like without her here and figuring out our new normal, because it was a huge hit to myself as a mom and who she was for my children as a grandmother and the support that we had, and what our everyday looked like. But, we're still doing okay. It's just it's new. Everything is new.
Able to smile. It's just a new thing. I feel like that's just like, so when my auntie died, all I knew was my mom and her two sisters. She had twin sisters. She was the youngest. She had twin sisters, Sharon and Karen. That's my whole life. So I couldn't even believe that she was leaving. And then when she called me to tell me goodbye, that really, she said, I was in Texas and I got a phone call, FaceTime. I knew that she was like in the hospital and stuff like that. And I got a FaceTime, and the FaceTime, it was my mom. And like, I had been getting sent home all week. I was anxiety up here. I was the mess was crazy. And she had been used to seeing me like this all the time. I've always been her little baby doll type of girl. So when she saw me, I was hair up here. Like, I was at work looking crazy. So sorry, TV. Sorry. I'm sorry. Because when she got on the phone, my mom asked, I thought it was my mom calling me, and it was her on my mom's phone. And I'm up here, hair up here, eyelashes hanging off. I'm at work. I'm like, she like,
so like, what's going on?
My TV was very straight to the point. Like, she was very much so right in your face. She looked at me like, girl, what the hell?
What's going on? Even then, still on your heels, even then.
Listen, she left. She was left out with a bang. She didn't tell. Listen, one thing about my auntie Karen, she let everybody know when she left, I fuck with you or I didn't fuck with you. It was crazy. Like, she was so devastated that I was looking like that. She was like, girl, what is you doing?
This time? That's funny.
She was like, girl. I'm like, I was livid. Like,
but look at the story that you have to tell, though. Like, what an amazing, like,
she looked at me like, girl, where's my baby down?
Like, what is happening?
I was always dialed up. Like, I've always been dialed up, like her dialed up girl, like, and when she saw me, she was like, girl, I'm talking my hair was up here. I was at work looking crazy. And then
that is funny, but that's such an amazing story, though.
She was looking at the camera like,
that is hilarious.
Tell you that I'm gonna miss you. I'm like, yeah, please.
To push through for business. It took me a while. I had to go through like so much. I didn't, like, my mom was just telling me today, she was like, this is the first year you really like pushing your business. And I'm like, I've been pushing my business, girl, shut up. And I'm like, and I thought about it, I'm like, no, I haven't. Like, this year is really the year for me because of the fact that, like, I had to like think outside everything else, because normally when it comes to life and matters, I have said fuck the business. Honestly, people will be like, I need some wine. I want some wine. I'm like,
there's none.
No wine for me.
There's none. There's none.
Ain't no wine. Ain't no wine, bitch.
Where's the event? There's none. No,
there's none. But I feel like the voice that I have in this now is that I want us as minorities to be able to cultivate spaces where we can have real life, right? But at the same time, we still are kicking down that door, because People don't understand how hard it is for us to be in the alcohol and beverage industry.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah,
It's
it is
not
hard.
easy.
Yeah.
Especially when they see that you when they see the skin color.
Yes.
10 times harder. They don't want to
Yeah.
let you have nothing. Nothing.
Yes. Yes.
I
It's
went
been
into
interesting.
a place. I'm not gonna say the name.
Mhm.
And I told them, I said, "Hey, I'm a local wine producer.
Mhm.
I'm federally licensed to produce
Mhm.
and blend wine."
Mhm.
It's like, oh well, the person that is over that department is not going to be in today, tomorrow, or the next day. They have to come on this day, girl.
Okay. Yeah. I have had so many places where I've wanted to have events, and you can just tell when it just doesn't align. You know, like
you can tell.
Yeah, you can just tell when it doesn't
You
align.
can tell they get so weird.
You want to know another point that I want to touch on really quick? Is sometimes it be your own people, and that is so frustrating.
It be this one.
It be so frustrating because it's like
2 seconds.
Why do you want to take
you
advantage?
People that be calling my wine hooch?
That's a lot.
We have licenses.
Yeah. That's too much. Y'all doing way too much.
I did the event at the Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
And before before a woman tasted it, she wasn't one of us though. Before she tasted it, she was like, "Oh, what type of blend she has?" And all my blends were laid out right.
Yeah.
They're right there. I had the whole tasting menu.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, "Oh, what's this, Boone's Farm?"
You know, you don't have to drink any. You can just keep it. You can keep
you in them big ass boots, keep walking. Them big ass shoes. Like, but if I say that, then I'm wrong, right?
No.
If I say,
listen, we are standing up for ourselves this year. We are standing up for ourselves in 2024. That has been my mantra.
She called my wine Boone's Farm, and I was so offended because she hadn't even tasted it.
Be offended. No, she don't even
need
it. Yeah, she don't even need to taste it. I don't even want you to taste it. Just
you. Did I not have lines around crazy lines?
Yeah, you did.
I had the
and you
want to
know something too, because your wine was that. I love that event. I go every year. I have been every year that has been in Milwaukee. It is an amazing event, but they don't have any other type of wine besides the dry reds, the dry whites. It's just like you go to every table and all the wines taste the same. Like you're not giving me anything different. Like I'm going, like obviously I'm going getting lit and having a blast, but then you get to your table and we have like all these unique blends. It tastes nothing like any of the wines at any of the other tables, which all have taste the same. And you want to know something too? Is I love local wines. Like I mean, if you look at my Instagram, yeah, like it's just like Wisconsin has like so many unique fruits that grow here, where people, where the vineyards here, or they're not even vineyards, well, just the winemakers here have the ability to make such unique wines because they're not always from states.
People always ask me like, why my blend's so different? I'm like, well, because I like to experiment,
and that's it just is something different. Like it's just, and that's what, like that's part of what the wine tribe is too. Like we're not, we can love the wines that we love. We can love the classics, but it's also okay to love a cherry wine. Like we live in a cherry state. A lot of winemakers here in Wisconsin have access to cherries, and they make a lot of cherry wines, and
it's
that's
okay.
Fine. It's okay. Yeah, and it's fine. It's fine. Like,
I had the basics.
I had to kick somebody out the group when I first started it, because that was my first experience with like somebody bullying in the group. But I had to kick somebody out the group because she was like, somebody posted like Stella Rose had a new blend that was like a blueberry blend, so that was way back. And people were in a group posting like, have y'all tasted this yet? Have y'all tasted this yet? And somebody was like, girl, like, she tagged her friend like, girl, you see the type of wines they posted in this group? And I'm like, so what?
So what?
That's what everybody like.
My thing is like, what people don't understand is like, this is one of the basic and main things that I want to get a point across in these lives. Everyone has a different palate.
Yes, and it's fine.
Your This is
Yeah.
not. It's not the
Yeah.
same.
It's
You know, like,
fine. Yeah.
and then it goes with pairing. So
Yeah.
what I eat,
Mhm.
not on a random basis, but
Yeah.
on a consistent basis. What do
Yeah.
you eat on a consistent basis?
I like everything, but on a consistent basis. I mean, like I'm a fish girly. I like a lot of
Fish,
fish. So yeah.
right? So for you,
Mhm.
Chardonnays or like white wines and blush wines and sparkling wines would
Yeah.
be like a normal thing for you.
Mhm.
But what do
And
you like?
I try to be very mindful of pairing what I'm eating with what I'm eating with what I'm drinking. Just because I have the ability to do so, and I try to lead people in that way. Like I just posted the other day about different chips you can pair with different wines, so like that's relatable.
Exactly.
You know, but yeah, I usually just try to make a decision based off what I'm eating, honestly. But when I am eating, but you know, we got a lot of people who like to just eat cheese pieces and chicken strips, and they can drink they can drink what they want to drink.
Exactly. And it's like, but like when I used to bartend, I used to be like, wow. Like they would be at the bar, like, let me get a Lambrusco. And they would have like some a steak dinner. Like, girl, that don't even go together.
It don't, but it probably is good to her.
But you're gonna be gassy. It's gonna be very gassy
Yeah.
after you leave here.
But you know, like that's a lot of the education piece that comes with it too. Like I try not to be too preachy at my events because I've been to some preachy events and it's very boring.
You don't, but you give them like
I
a
give them the
complimentary
clear
like,
cut.
yeah.
I do give a complimentary pairing, but I try to be very clear cut. Like this is the wine. It tastes like this because you know this is what you're gonna get. It will go really good with this, and this. And I try to make it very brief. Because you know, at the end of the day, like I can give you a cheese that's gonna go really, really good with this jam jar. But you still might not like the jam jar. You still might not, you know, so it really just depends. So, you know, what I try to do is just, you know, let people know like it's fine. If you don't like it, then we'll move on to the next one. And then you may like that, you may love that one. Or the next person may love this one and the next person may hate that one, you know. So you know, just let people know that's okay. It's a lot of rules.
Yeah, it's not. It's a lot.
So.
Like wine, I feel like that's why our culture does not get into wine like that.
I know
because there's a lot of rules when it comes to drinking wine.
Yeah, there's too many rules, and rules are meant to be broken.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for me, I feel like the pairings. So pairings. They kind of make sense though, because when I saw those pairings, like when I try to eat tacos with some Cabernet, it don't make sense.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
I feel like it don't make sense. You know, like I feel like it's not that girl. Like I feel like I don't understand why they said to eat tacos.
Yeah, but then that's great too that your blends are so unique too, because I mean, although they can have pairings that go with them, they kind of just go with everything.
Yeah. And that's what I wanted to cultivate. Like I didn't want to make wines that were just a Cabernet, a Riesling, you know, like I wanted to make stuff that was fun.
Yeah, I don't want to pigeonhole my wine to just this one thing. Like I want you to enjoy it with some ribs and some pizza.
Yep.
You know, so.
So if you guys are just tuning in, we're about 6 minutes left into the live. What are you guys drinking tonight and why? Because my mama, she just tuned in, and that girl is a Moscato girl. She will Moscato you down to death.
Yes, love is a Moscato.
She will make dressing, greens, all this stuff, and then have a glass of Moscato. It's crazy.
She got it. She got it. She likes what she likes. She likes what she likes.
I be like, girl. So while we're in our last couple of minutes of the event, events that's going on. You don't have any events going on lately, right?
No, I don't. But if you guys want to stay posted, there will be some soon. So you guys can follow the Instagram page, the.wine.tribe, or you can join our Facebook group here on Facebook, The Wine Tribe. And just stay tuned. I don't have anything lined up right at this moment, but there will be some soon, and they'll be very genuine. Like, that's all I want to say, because, you know, like you mentioned, I had like a rough last year. So anything that I bring to the forefront, or that I try to bring in front of anyone, is going to be just very genuine, and it's going to be something that, you know, I really want to push forward. So,
and Paisley has really good, really informative events. Like, her events are very much so what you need to be at. So if she takes a break, girl, calm down. Like, I'm not gonna play about her, you know.
Yeah, and
you don't need to have. My thing is like quality over quantity.
Yeah,
you can throw out.
Yes,
you know, you can throw out 15 events, and they don't stick. But events that actually matter, that's what really matters.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
If you want to take your time with your events, girl, take your time. Like, it's not. You still want to try. You still are very valuable to this community when it comes to the alcohol and beverage industry. So there's nothing about you taking a break. I've taken breaks.
Yeah, sometimes you have to take a breather.
I take breaks all the time.
Yeah.
Every time I sell too much wine, I literally take a break.
Yeah. Like,
I want to take a break this month, but I got 2 books. Wait, we got some questions. Damn. You know, I only got one eye.
So, Court mentioned like the legs on the wine, which is like, if you like will stir your glass, you can see, well, you can't see it, but you can tell like how much alcohol content is kind of in the wine by like the legs that drip off of it. So anybody who's drinking wine, swirl your glass. Yeah, you can swirl your glass, and then it'll like create like these like legs. You can see them, like it's like these legs.
Okay.
See them.
So swirl it.
A good swirl. But it just tells you like if there's like a lot of legs.
The legs.
Yep, it's usually like higher in alcohol content, or it's usually lower in alcohol content if it has like a lesser amount of legs. But I'll share a picture of what that means.
That's dope.
You have to swirl it and see like,
right,
okay,
Courtney,
this about to get me legs.
Courtney, every time I swirl some wine now I'm being in places like wait, right, every time I'm gonna be,
you got to.
Now I'm gonna be swirling my wine to the guys. Now I'm gonna be here.
Take a pic. Share the pic of the legs.
Real sexy. What?
Real sexy.
No, but yeah, I do want to tell y'all about, before we get off of here, one next weekend, or next week. Sorry, I had some to say. Next week on 3-6, I am going to have Courtney from Mixed MKE on. We're going to be talking about, different mixed drinks, right? We're going to be talking about different mixed drinks because, like I said, this is not just about wine. Mm-hmm. This is a cultivated space for all of us who are in the alcohol and beverage industry. Yes. As minorities, you guys don't understand how hard it is to be in this industry. It's not like something that's like, you can just go and make a wine blend. Yeah. It is very hard, especially when you're a minority. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to create a space where us minorities can talk about all things wine, business, alcohol. So this is what Corks Conversations are. And then also, if you guys are free this weekend, this Sunday. So Sunday, Milwaukee Wine Academy is going to be having a event for sparkling wine, women in sparkling wine. So it's on their page.
Sounds like a blast.
Right. Paisley, I love you, girl.
Thank you. I love you too. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on
to us today, you guys.
No, I appreciate you. My mama said she remember you, the child.
Yeah.
She'll come as I remember her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really appreciate you guys for constantly tuning in. This is just the beginning. I'm still learning how to do this whole thing.
Yeah, me good.
But
Doing great.
like
Keep it
everybody
going.
say, I talk so much. Well, I wouldn't have a podcast.
It's working out.
But thank you guys for tuning in.
Yes,
Paisley,
thank you.
thank you, my love. And
Thank you.
when you have your event, please let me know so that I can
I
post
always
it. And
do. I always do.
ciao, so I can
Yes.
post it. You guys have a great night. And then cheers.
Cheers.
All right.
All right. Good night.